Alright, I'm still standing here at the 470. I'm waiting on Matt to come up through here in that SD40 switcher on the lead of A95 eastbound. But in the meantime right here, while I'm waiting, I just thought I would say that, you know, out of all the different spots that I watch, when I look down across this bottom here, looking down across milepost 470, 472, 473, you know, going on that direction, when I'm watching down through this long bottom, when a train's approaching, I'm not just watching the train and, you know, and just filming it and whatever. I am watching their speed. I'm watching their speed as much as anything else, because based on the train speed, that will a lot of times determine where I'm going to end up sitting next. When I make a judgment right there on, you know, what move to make, I may jump straight up as soon as the tail end of that train passes me. I may jump straight up and I may run to another spot. You know, if a train comes up through here and he's approaching really, really extremely slow, you know, a lot of times that means that, you know, you may have somebody sitting up here on the side and stop, you know, or two may be going to meet, you know, or something like that. And a lot of times, you know, you'll hear that on radio if you're listening to radio. If somebody's up here on the side and stop, you know, waiting, they may say something about being locked down on the side. Another thing when it comes to actually filming alone, your footage and your video clips turns out a lot better in the ending if you have a focal point on that train, to which my focus point is the headlights on the front of the train. You know, with the camera, I just focus on the headlights. I look at the headlights and just, you know, and just kind of swing on the train going by, like a train going fast. And everything else, you know, in the video just kind of falls into place. And when a train's moving fast, you know, and I swing the camera, I'm kind of doing the same thing as I would do on leading a bird in flight, like with a shotgun. You know, I'm leading that train. I'm pulling the camera just a slight fraction ahead of him, because if you don't, the front bumper of that unit's already going to be out of the frame on the camera. So you got to lead a fast moving unit just like you do a bird in flight with a shotgun. All right. Something else is to say leading on a train or swinging the camera on a train, period, as it's going by. You know, some folks will just set up a camera and let the train pass by it, and they won't swing the camera, you know, swing on the unit coming around, which I've done it both ways. But I'm going to tell you how it works, or how I see that it works. If you actually swing the camera coming around as the unit's moving, you get a completely all-around different sound effect from that train. As a matter of fact, you can actually hear the train better. You get a lot more sound from the train. You can hear a lot more of what's going on. But, you know, versus swinging on the train versus just, you know, leaving the camera stationary, you can play those two different videos side by side, and it literally straight out seems like two completely different videos. It's amazing how much more sound that you will get in a video by actually swinging on that unit. But